Love the gentle hush which comes over a wonderful big space when someone stands up in front of everybody. Shabbat Shalom to all of you, and welcome this morning. It's fantastic to see so many familiar faces and so many faces that I'm seeing for the first time. I hope that you really enjoy the service, and the best way that you can do that is, whatever your background and tradition, to just enjoy and join in as best that you can throughout the experience that you're going to have this Shabbat morning. Many of you, I think a huge number of you, are here to celebrate Jed's bar mitzvah, and so let's create a very special atmosphere for that. We begin our service this morning on page 112, page 112, and when you've found it, would you please rise? Eternal God, a mystery surrounds my life. What came before it and what lies beyond it are shrouded in darkness. But in the darkness is your presence, and in the mystery, your love. No mind can grasp the splendor of your being. No tongue express the majesty of your words. Yet there are times when we sense a reality that is beyond our mortal sight. May this Sabbath be such a time for us. Help us to hear your voice, to find your image in our souls, and to be at peace. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehoraki. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehoraki. Ata berata, ata yetzarta, ata nefakta bi, ve'ata meshamra bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehoraki. Elohai, Elohai, neshama. שנתת בי God, the soul you have given me is pure. You have created and formed it and breathed it into me, and you sustain it within me. So long as there is a soul within me, I will give thanks to you, Eternal One, my God and God of my ancestors, Sovereign of all worlds, Guide of every human soul. We praise you, O God, in whose hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. We continue. Baruch she'amah v'haya ha'olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Hamuchulal b'fi amo. V'shubach u'mfo'al b'lshon chasidav v'avadav. B'shvachot u'vizmirot. V'gadel lecha v'namlichecha. Malkeinu yachid chei ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai melech muchulal v'tishbach. To you the stars of morning sing. From you their radiance bright did spring, and steadfast in their vigils day and night your angels flooded with fervour ring your praise. They teach the holy ones to bring into your house the breath of early light. The heavens declare the glory of God. Day unto day utter speech. Yet there is no speech, there are no words. And still their call goes out to all the earth. God's teaching is perfect. God's word is unfailing. God's precepts are right. God's commandments are clear. God's doctrine is pure. God's guidance is true. They are more to be desired than gold, than any amount of fine gold. Your servant pays heed to them. Who is aware of errors? Hold back your servant also from willful sins. Then I shall be blameless. Yulratson imrefi. V'hegyon libi lefanech Adonai tzuri v'goali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Amin spiro b'shiri lero, ki elecha nashita haro, nashivim dametzel yadecha, da'at kol rosadecha, nidei dabri livodecha, omeri el godecha, yerov nasichi alecha, ki nashita ro elecha. Please rise. And together, Yishtabach Shimcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz, Ki Lecha Na'er Adonai Eloheinu V'Elohei Avoteinu, Shir U'Shvacha, Hallel V'Zimra, Brachot V'Hodaot, Me'ata Ve'ad Olam, Baruch Ata Adonai, Abocher B'Shirei Zimra. Page 135.
Nine,
be the one to whom that praise is due. Praise be the one to whom that praise is due. Now and forever. Na 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 nine 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 nine. And together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Yotzei Or Uvorei Choshech, Osei Shalom Uvorei Et HaKol, Hameir La'aretz V'ladarim Alecha Barachamim, Uvtuvo Machadesh B'chol Yom Tamid, Ma'asei V'Reishit, Ma'rabu Ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam B'chochma Asita, Mala Ha'aretz Kinyanecha, Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, Al Shevach Ma'asei Yadecha, Ba'al Mo'orei Or She'asita, Yifa'aruch Asela, Baruch Atah Adonai, Yotzei HaMo'orot. Ahava Rabba Ahavtanu Adonai Eloheinu, Chemla Gedola V'Teirach Hamalta Aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Ba'avor Avotenu Shebatachu V'cha, Lamdeim Chukei Chaim, Kein Techonenu T'lamdeinu, V'teim B'libenu Lahavinu Lahaskir, Lishmoa Lilmodu Lalmeid, Lishmo V'la'asotu L'kayem, Et Kol Divrei Toratecha, Be'achava. Be'hahenenu B'toratecha, V'dahabek Libeinu B'mitzvotecha, Ve'yached Lehavenu, Le'achava U'yira Et Shemecha. Kivanu V'rachata Li'achedecha Be'achava. Baruch Atah Adonai, Abocher Ba'amo Yisrael, Be'achava. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavacha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol ma'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi matzavacha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shochbacha u'v'kumecha, u'kshamtam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, Taptam almuzazot beitech, uvish. Please be seated. Leman tizkeru, asitem et kol mitzvotai, item kadoshim lelohem, ani Adonai Elohem, asher hotzeiti Echem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim, ani Adonai Elohem. Good and beautiful and true. Sound, established and enduring are these words now and forever. True, it is, Eternal One, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly, you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage, Then with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. Mi chamocha banim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot v'seifer. A new song the redeemed sang to your name at the shore of the sea. With one accord they gave thanks and proclaimed your sovereignty. Adonai sefatai tivtach uvia gita kilatecha. Adonai sefatai tivtach uvia gita kilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth shall declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocheh Chastei Avot V'Imachot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'achava, Melech Hozeh U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, v'chayei meitim atah Rav v'choshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hageshem, mazriach hashemesh u'morid hatal. Mechalkel chayim b'chesed, Mechayei meitim berachamim rabim, Sohomech noflim v'rofech oholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato, Lishenei ahava, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memiz u'machayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'neheman atah la'achyot meitim Baruch atah Adonai machayeh ha'meitim. Sanctify your name on earth, as in the prophet's vision the hosts of heaven sing your praise above, for so it is written. Mimkomacha malkeinu tofia v'timloch aleinu ki machakim anachnu lach. Yimloch Adonai me'olam Elohai Yitzion V'dovado Alleluia. V'dovado nagid God lecha L'netzach netzachim kedushatecha nakdish V'shivcha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el. Please. ישמחו במלכותך, ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג. עם קדשי שביעי, עם קדשי שביעי, כולם יספרו ויתענגו מטובך. והשיבי רצית בו וקידשתו, והשיבי רצית בו וקידשתו, ועמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה בראשית. And together, our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this site be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Say Adonai Eloheinu ba'amacha Yisrael, u'tefilatam ba'ahavat kabel, il ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael, amen. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otzecha levadecha, b'yirah na'avod, modim anachnu lach, she'atah hu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, le'olam va'ed. So chayenu magen ishenu, atah hu ledor vador. Nodeh lecha u'nesaper tehilatecha, al chayenu hamasurim biyadecha, va'al nishmotenu habakorot lach, va'al nisecha shebechol yom imanu, va'al niflotecha v'tovotecha, shebechol eitz erev v'avoker v'tzochorayim. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha, v'lecha na'er l'chodot. Sin shalom, tova uvracha. 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 Together, grant peace, welfare, and blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, the love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people, Israel, and all peoples, be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. Shalom Nimroha, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Bnei Adam, Ohosei Shalom Nimroha, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Israel, shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ועל כל Israel. May the Most High, source of perfect peace, grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. Turn now to page 481. Page 481 for our Torah service. There is none like you, Eternal One, among the gods people worship, and there are no deeds like yours. Your sovereignty is everlasting. Your reign endures from age to age. Will you please rise? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. A tango. Gadlul Adonai Tzion Aroma Mal Shemo Yakdav. Let us magnify the Eternal One. Together, let us exalt God's name. Please be seated. Do the blessing from its lapel.
In the presence of this congregation, which represents the Jewish people all over the world, I give thanks for what I have learned of my Jewish heritage and promise to go on studying it in the years ahead. So may I come to understand ever more deeply and carry out more fully the duties that flow from it. I think of all those who, in past ages, have preserved the Jewish faith and declared their loyalty to it as I do today. I thank my parents and my family, my teachers and my friends, and all who have helped me to reach this day. And I pray to God, guide me and keep me strong, so that I may fulfill the high hopes that rest on me.
Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh.
Amen. If you want to go down.
Thank you.
Can you put your book to the side? You've got Torah blessings in there.
I'm going to be reading from Genesis, Parashat Vayigash, chapter 45, verses 1 to 15. We pick up the story of Joseph as he is about to reveal his identity to his brothers, who have no idea that this important Egyptian official is in fact the long-lost brother they sold into slavery. Joseph, of course, has recognized his brothers when they have come to Egypt to buy grain because of the famine, which will last for another 5 years. He has insisted that they bring Benjamin, his youngest brother, to Egypt, and falsely accuses him of stealing a golden cup. When Judah begs Joseph not to punish Benjamin and takes the blame for himself, Joseph realizes that his brothers have truly changed, and decides to tell them who he is. I will be reading from the newest scroll. I have chosen this scroll because I thought it was beautifully written and very clear, and the fact that it was written just for the shul is very special. Baruch hu et Adonai ha'mevorach.
Baruch Adonai ha'mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai ha'mevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
ולא יכול יוסף להתאפק לכל הניצבים עליו, ויקרא הוציאו כל איש מעלי, ולא עמד איש איתו, בהתוודע יוסף אל אחיו, ויתן את קולו בבכי, וישמעו מצרים, וישמע בית פרעה, ויאמר יוסף אל אחיו, אני יוסף, העוד אבי חי, ולא יכלו אחיו לענות אותו, כי נבהלו מפניו. ויאמר יוסף אל אחיו, גשנה אלי ויגשו, ויאמר אני יוסף אחיכם, אשר מכרתם אותי מצרימה, ותהה אל תעצבו, ואל ייחר בעיניכם, כי מכרתם אותי הנה, כי למחיה שלחני אלוהים לפניכם. כי זה שנתיים הרעב בקרב הארץ, ועוד 5 שנים אשר אין חריש וקציר, וישלחני אלוהים לפניכם, לשום לכם שארית בארץ, אל החיות לכם לפליטה גדולה. ועתה לא ראתם, שלחתם אותי הנה, כי האלוהים, וישימני לאב לפרעה, ולידון לכל ביתו, ומושל בכל ארץ מצרים. מהרו ועלו אל אבי, ואמרתם אליו, כה אמר בנך יוסף, שמני אלוהים, לידון לכל מצרים, ודע אלי אל תעמוד. וישבת בארץ גושן, והיית קרוב אלי, אתה ובניך ובני בניך, וצאנך ובקרך וכל אשר לך, והלכלתי אותך שם, כי עוד 5 שנים רעב, פן תברש, אתה וביתך וכל אשר לך, והנה עיניכם רואות, ועיני אחי בנימין, כפי המדבר עליכם. והגדתם לאבי את כל כבודי במצרים, ואת כל אשר ראיתם, ומיהרתם, והורדתם את אבי הנה, ויפול על סברי בנימין אחיו, ויבך, ובנימין בכה על סבריו. וינשק לכל אחיו, ויבקע עליהם, ואחרי כן דיברו אחיו איתו. Joseph could not restrain himself to all the people present before him, and he said, "Send everyone away from me." So no one else was with him when he made himself known as Joseph to his brothers. With a loud wail he cried, so the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" And his brothers could not answer, because they recoiled from in front of him from fear. And Joseph said to his brothers, "Please, come closer to me." And they came closer, and he said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold to Egypt. And now don't be upset, and don't get angry with yourself, because you sold me there, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. Because we have already had 2 years of famine in the land. There will be 5 more years without plowing and harvesting. God sent me ahead of you to assure your survival in the land and to keep you alive for a great deliverance. So it is not you who sent me here, but God, who made me a father to Pharaoh, a lord of all his households, and a ruler of the whole land of Egypt. Hurry back up to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me and don't wait. You will stay in the land of Goshen, and you will be near to me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks and your herds, and all of your possessions. I will sustain you there, because there are still 5 more years of famine to come, so that with you, your households, and all of your possessions are not impoverished. Your eyes can see, and my brother can also see. It's my mouth speaking to you. Tell my father about how they honor me in Egypt, and tell him all that you have seen, and hurry up and bring my father here." He fell on Benjamin's neck, and he wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. He kissed all his brothers, and he wept with them, and only after that could his brothers speak to him. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata batochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Please rise. Okay. Elevate the scroll. Yes, hold it up. Please be seated.
Families. We all have them, and with it, all of the problems that come with having one. Having 2 brothers is bad enough. I already have to share the 6 Friday night profiteroles with the 2 of them, meaning I only get half of a profiterole every Friday, which is just not enough. Imagine sharing with 11 brothers. That's just over half a profiterole each. But in Joseph's case, Jacob probably would have insisted that Joseph had 3 of the 6 profiteroles, and the rest would be shared amongst a large number of siblings. This preferential treatment of Joseph by his father Jacob was one of the reasons for the hatred his brothers had of him, and it explains why Joseph was sold into slavery by his jealous brothers and eventually ended up as second in command in Egypt. But after Joseph sold into slavery, Jacob had another son, Benjamin, whose mother was Rachel, Jacob's preferred wife. Benjamin quickly became his favorite son, and the favoritism could have led to the Joseph story again, but doesn't, which is proven when Benjamin is about to be imprisoned for stealing the richly jeweled cup. The brothers offer themselves instead, proving that they have changed and deserve Joseph's forgiveness. I believe that in this story, Jacob is presented in a negative light, as he has favourites amongst his sons instead of treating all of them equally. This is a recipe for a dysfunctional family and severe sibling rivalry. However, it is interesting that Joseph doesn't put any blame on his family, but instead says that God intended for all of these events to happen so he could eventually save Egyptians and his family from the terrible famine. This shows how much Joseph has matured and how wise he now is. In this portion, there are questions of morality. What does Joseph learn? Does Joseph really deserve what happened? And was God's plan a good one? Key things that Joseph learns includes the benefit of hindsight, the ability to forgive, and how to help people and act selflessly. As Joseph was not very considerate towards his brothers when he was young, a part of me thinks he deserved what happened, as it taught him valuable lessons and helped many Egyptians as he successfully stored food during the famine. God's plan was good, but could have been done differently. Did Joseph really deserve being sold into slavery? Maybe not. But the Joseph story is great at teaching other people excellent morals and how to be a better person. For example, Joseph was able to recover from being sold into slavery, and once having reached a very high position, realized his life was now very important and all had been done for a reason, as he now had saved an entire region's population from being devastated by the famine. He had been forced to give up life as a pampered youngest. He had to undergo a period of suffering and then triumphed over all odds to become so influential. There are also questions about how Joseph has changed throughout the story. Have the earlier dreams come true? Has Joseph really changed? And is he still arrogant? The earlier dreams did technically come true. He is now very powerful, and people bow down to him, just like in his childhood dreams, with the wheat and the stars. He's quite conceited, as he talks about being special, because God sent him to Egypt. He also loves his father, as he asks about him immediately after revealing himself, showing that he may be quite conflicted, as he understands that his father's favoritism led to the problems with his brothers, but ultimately to his positions of importance in Egypt. Things that I have learned from this portion and the whole bar mitzvah process are to persevere, to recognize my relationships with my family, not to be jealous, to accept responsibility for my actions, and potential parenting skills for when I'm older, such as buying my children bigger boxes of profiteroles. I have chosen not to read the traditional Haftarah, but instead I'll be reading from Psalm 105, which refers directly to the Torah portion I have just read. It talks about Joseph being sold into slavery and how he becomes a powerful man who is ultimately able to save his brothers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha b'nviim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo uv'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek. Amen. Give praise to the Eternal One. Proclaim God's name. Make known among the nations what the Eternal One has done. Sing to God. Sing praise to God. Tell of all God's wonderful acts. Glory in the Eternal One's holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Eternal One rejoice. Look to the Eternal One and the Eternal One's strength. Seek God's face always. Remember the wonders God has done, God's miracles and the judgments God pronounced. You, God's servants, the descendants of Abraham, God's chosen ones, the children of Jacob. God is the Eternal One, our God. God's judgments are all in the earth. God remembers the covenant forever, the promise God made for 1,000 generations, the covenant the Eternal One made with Abraham, the oath God swore to Isaac. The Eternal One confirmed it to Jacob as a decree, to Israel as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit. When they were but few in number, few indeed, and strangers in it, they wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another. God allowed no one to oppress them. For their sake God rebuked kings. Do not touch my anointed ones. Do my prophets no harm. The Eternal One called down famine on the land and destroyed all their supplies of food. And God sent a man before them, Joseph, sold as a slave. They bruised his feet with shackles. His neck was put in irons, till what he foretold came to pass, till the word of the Eternal One proved him true. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam kol haolamim sadiq b'chol hadoro ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanviim v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shanatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu l'kedusha v'limnucha l'chavod l'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarachim otach yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Shekoyach. Turn to page 484, page 484. And when you're ready, would you please rise? Which one are your cousins for reading, doing the readings?
Do we need to get them?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Ben.
Ben.
Which cousins are reading? Which cousins are reading now? Oh yeah, there you go.
I might shout him Ben.
Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessings for our Sovereign Lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity.
Amen.
Eternal God, as you blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter this synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who live under oppressive rule soon be freed, and may we all unite to witness your truth and do your will.
Amen.
Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbours, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem.
Amen. And over the page, Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado. Jet, if you want to come through. Mi shaberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, ve'amotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. Hu yivarech et bar mitzvah, Yedidia Aryeh ben Binyamin David, Sha'al'ah laTorah. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless Jed, who, having reached the age of bar mitzvah, has come to read from the Torah. Jed, as we have seen, you have but 2 brothers, but you have a tribe of family, if we include all the cousins as well. How wonderful to all come together to celebrate life, from all corners all round the other side of the globe to here. How fantastic to see such individuals and also such a family all together. When we say L'Dor Vador, you have read about generation, from moving from a cycle of Jacob to Joseph, and then we learn again that the story is really about Jacob because it's all about Israel. May you always feel part of those generations of the people of Israel. Feel part of this sacred, special family, wherever you may be living at any moment in time. May you always feel the love of your brothers and all of your family. Your brothers and sisters, not only within your family, but within your people of Israel. So wherever you go around the globe, you will feel confident to be called to the Torah, just as you have confidently been called this morning and sung with such strength and also beauty of being a young man, showing youth as well, something that's very special in you, Jed. May you always be somebody who, just like your talit, sings with the rainbows with all the different colours and finds and celebrates life amongst your peers, in your community, amongst your people, and playing your part in the wider world. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Jed, may God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may God reach out to you in tenderness and always bring you peace. Let us say. On page 489, behold, a good doctrine has been given you. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Okay, so you can scroll back in. Just like that. Please be seated. Brilliant. Well done. Go down there, Jacob. Pleasure. Yedidiah, or the anglicised Jedediah. What a fantastic word to pronounce. One that hitherto I had not found passing my lips on a regular occasion. Yet a few weeks ago, at our communal baby blessing, one of the babies was named Jedediah. And this morning, our bar mitzvah, Jed, we blessed as Yedidiah. The name appears but once in the Tanakh, in the second book of Samuel. David's most unethical moment comes when he commits adultery with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah. When his initial effort to disguise the deed fails, Uriah, proving to be so loyal to David that he twice turns down the opportunity to go home and sleep with his wife, rather staying with his fellow soldiers, ready for battle. David has Uriah sent into the front line of battle to be killed, as duly occurs. The punishment that David receives, Bathsheba's feelings are obviously unconsidered, is that the child of adultery dies. We then reach our relevant verses. David consoled his wife Bathsheba. He went to her, lay with her. She bore a son, and she named him Solomon. The Eternal One favoured him, and God sent a message through the prophet Nathan, and Solomon was named Yedidiah at the instance of the Eternal. Yedidiah means beloved of the Eternal. It is unclear why, although Solomon is the ongoing story, he is named that. Perhaps there is also a message of forgiveness for David, who now focuses on Bathsheba's welfare, and she is henceforth described as his wife. Our Jed was given this name by Ben and Rachel, as he nearly didn't exist at all, given Ben's near-fatal illness in 2005. For some, like our Jed, there is a plain explanation such as this, as to why they are beloved by God. But sorry to tell you, Jed, we understand liberal Judaism and Jewish identity, not only through a fate of birth, but through one's own deeds in life. Who is beloved by God? Well, one might consider the well-known verse from Micah. People tell you what is good, but what does the Eternal One require of you? Only to do justly and love mercy and walk humbly with your God. Surely that person would be beloved by God, humble, just, and merciful. This approach to life can be foundational. Whilst humility is often derided in a society by the strong men who currently popularise leadership, I find it vital if one is to be in constant social engagement with others. Acknowledging that there are always a very small percentage of any demographic who are intransigent. The vast majority of people wish to live peaceful, fulfilling, and valued lives. The humility to truly engage with others and to hear each other is our ultimate strength. It allows us together as society to figure out what is just, and also leads us to assume the best intentions from those around us, unless proven otherwise, to have mercy. Moses Maimonides, in his Mishneh Torah, focusing on the human disposition, states, "One who beholds another sinning or following an unrighteous path is obliged to return them toward the good, and to let them know that they are actually sinning against themselves in doing bad things. For it is said in Leviticus, 'You shall not hate your kin in your heart. You must certainly reprove them, but incur no guilt on their behalf.'" Maimonides continues, "One who rebukes another must administer that rebuke personally and privately, speaking calmly, employing soft language, acknowledging their motivation only for the other's good, to bring them to a rewarding life. The statement from Maimonides and the source text from Leviticus are particular in referring to relationships between Israelites or Jews, not with others. On Yom Kippur, I challenge us to think about whether we act differently to anti-Semitic attacks against Haredi, ultra-Orthodox Jews, to those perpetrated against Jews who look like us. At the time, it was due to the growing ubiquity of relatively low-level attacks in Brooklyn on Haredi Jews, a fact that left contemporary Manhattan non-Haredi Jewry unmoved. This week we experienced the attack in Monsey. Will the rest of American Jewry now act in the same way that it did to the attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh? There have also been weekly reports of attacks on Haredi Jews in the UK, but it takes incidents in Belsize Park and South Hampstead for the majority of Jews to respond in solidarity. If we have one thing to thank Jeremy Corbyn for, it is, as Anshel Pfeffer notes in Haaretz today, the solidarity that he created across Anglo Jewry. A question for ourselves is whether we can maintain not uniformity, but common concern for each other, regardless of the many differences we have between denominations, religiosity or secularism, not to mention politics. Can we have humility to treat each other with justice and mercy? Of course, as liberal Jews, we universalize our tradition. It is not only one's fellow Israelite or Jew to act civilly towards, to love as a fellow citizen or human being, loved equally by God. In this week when we have been focused on anti-Semitism, there has been as many or more attacks on other groups in society. Judaism has been an increasing force for good in British society. When we consider how organisations such as Mitzvah Day and Jewish Care have been used as models for other communities, both to look after their own and to interact with fellow citizens. We have demonstrated how looking outside of ourselves makes us stronger. The danger of anti-Semitism is not only an external one, but that we react in such solidarity to retreat inward. Yedidia means beloved of the eternal. Jed, you and all of us need to work out what that means. We are thankful for the fate of our birth. In your family's case, a true and miraculous blessing. And dedicate ourselves to justifying the good names given to us. May we always have the humility to act justly and with mercy, including reproving where necessary fellow Jews and all those we live next door to, with kindness, softly, and without shaming. In so doing, may we walk with God, and God walk with us, that we may truly be those beloved of God. Amen. Turn now to our concluding prayers that you can find on page 520. Page 520, and when you've found it, please rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגורלנו להמליך מלכותו. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי noteh shamayim v'yosed aretz. U'moshav yakaro b'shamayim mima'al. U'shkinatu zo b'gov heima romim. Hu Eloheinu ein od. Emet malkeinu efes sulato. Kakatuv b'torato. V'yadata hayom b'hashevota el levabecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim. B'shamayim mima'al. V'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule. When all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. For ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the Eternal One shall reign forever. And it has been said, the Eternal God shall rule over all the earth, and that day the Eternal God shall be one and known to be one. Worship before you, O God, we think of those who once shared with us the joys and burdens of life and who are no longer in our midst. On this Shabbat we recall the yahrzeits for Ada and Bernard Alfred Blind, the mother and brother of Renee Simmons, of Gladys Goldstein, the mother of Andrew, Bernard and David Goldstein, June Samuel, the mother of Anthony and Susan, of Louis Morris, the father of Marsha Myers, of Nasser Jalali, the father of Navid, of Prue Conradi, the sister of Richard and aunt of James, and of Louise Hirsch, Jed's grandmother. Sorrow of bereavement is softened by the bond of love which continues to unite us with our dear ones, by our cherished memories of them, which we will always carry in our hearts. May all that was good in their lives remain with us as an influence for good. May God grant consolation to those who are in sorrow and light to those in darkness. Teach us at all times to put our trust in you and to praise your name, as we do together over the page. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. V'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah v'varach le'olam u'lamei amaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit'ada v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'amah v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imroma, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol b'nei adam v'imru. May great peace descend from heaven, and abundant life be granted to us, to all Israel, to all peoples, and to all those who mourn. Let us say. Please be seated. Invite up our President, Spencer Cowan, to make a presentation to Jed. Jed, you want to? Those within our congregation will have seen this week that we announced that Cantor Tamara will be leaving us and Kahila community. We have shared her between our two communities, and we're delighted that she's going to now one full-time job at Aelith Gardens Synagogue from March. We'll be sorry to say goodbye to her, and we will all have the opportunity to say goodbye at two services, the one on the 22nd of February and the other, a more informal gathering on the Friday night of the 28th. So please do mark those in your diaries to come along so that we can thank Tamara for all she has done within our community and celebrate her development as a cantor within this country. For those of you who struggled slightly with the Hebrew in the service, we have our annual Hebrew crash course, which happens in the first week of March every year. It's an opportunity for those people who are starting literally from scratch but would like to learn to read Hebrew. I'm the teacher of that because my Hebrew's rubbish, so I'm not a bad teacher for people who are starting from nothing. And then Rabbi Leah, who is the clever one amongst us, she will be teaching and taking people on, focusing much more on grammar and our understanding of Hebrew. That's at the beginning of, or middle of March this year, and please do speak to me afterwards if you'd like to join in with that programme. It doesn't have to be members of the synagogue. We have people from all over the country, actually sometimes from abroad as well, who come to be with us over that weekend. And also just an advance notice, this is personal plugging, because one of my other hats is as the chair of the Friends of this Country of the Learbeck Education Centre in Haifa. And Learbeck Haifa, together with Artsenu, which is a progressive Zionist bloc within this country, are organising a sort of VIP trip to Israel to access areas of Israeli society, both religious, secular, and also political society, to understand more about the country, and especially to see the visions which Learbeck and Artsenu have for the state. The trip will be on the 26th to the 30th of November, and if you'd like more details, please see me afterwards. Lots of possibilities to tack on either side of that as well, your own itinerary, and we're very happy to help you organise that as well. And over to you.
Hello, Jed. How many brothers and sisters do you actually have not living at home altogether?
I have one brother normally at uni and one living at home.
Right, so you've got two living at home, isn't it? I have something in common with you because I have two brothers and one sister, and we all had to muck in together at home. The only thing was I was the eldest, so they got my cast-offs. So I suppose you get their cast-offs, do you? Yes, a great many people here, and I thought that we were giving away tenors to everybody who was coming in. That's why there's so many, and I had to hang my coat on a tree out in the garden because I couldn't even find a hanger. You read your piece absolutely splendidly. For those who've never seen the Torah, and those who had seen the Torah, there are no vowels in it, and there are no notes in it. So you have to know the vowels, you have to know the notes, you have to be able to read it, and to sing it, you have to learn this. And you've done this splendidly. Your bar mitzvorial duties, I've made up a new adjective, bar mitzvorial, for you. And you did absolutely splendidly. Beautiful voice. Well, not bad anyway, so pretty good, yes. Yes, we're... as Aaron said, we're always looking for choir members. I'm very pleased and proud to be able to present to you, on behalf of Northwood Pinner Liberal Synagogue, this goodie bag. I'll just tell you what's in it first of all. There's a birthday card. Sorry, a bar mitzvah card, not a birthday card. It could be a birthday card as well. There's a voucher for a trip to Israel. It's a contribution towards a trip to Israel. You heard Aaron talking about a trip to Israel, but the one that you may go on is organised by LJY Netzer. LJY is Liberal Jewish Youth, and Netzer is a sprig or a branch. So you're quite a big branch. You would go into a beautiful tree eventually, or the equivalent of a beautiful tree. And here is, if you looked in the weekly information from on the website from from the shul. There's a trip on the 14th and 19th of April this year. There's a trip to Israel on 12th of July to the 4th of August. There's a Machane Kadima from the 10th to the 23rd of August. 3 trips to Israel. You can go on a trip which has on it people of your age or thereabouts. Okay, so if you don't do it this year, you can use the voucher next year. Also in this goodie bag there is a mahzor to use at High Holy Days. So I hope you'll enjoy all 3 and the bit of information. Mazel tov and Yishar Kol. Thank you. Got it? Yeah. Okay.
We conclude on page 525, page 125. Adon Olam, Hashem Alam, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, V'Nasa, V'Chemtzo Kol, Azai Melech, Shamoni Kra, V'Acharei, Kiflon HaKol, Levado, Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Holeh, V'hu Yiyeh, V'tifara. Adon Olam, Hashem Alam, B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra, V'Nasa V'Chemtzo Kol Azayma, Shemon Yikra, V'Acharei Kiflot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Holeh, V'hu Yiyeh, V'tifara. Adon Olam, Hashem Alam, B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra, V'Nasa V'Chemtzo Kol Azayma, Shemon Yikra, V'Acharei Kiflot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, V'hu Haya, V'hu Holeh, V'tifara. V'hu Haya, V'hu Holeh, V'tifara. V'hu Haya, V'hu Holeh, V'tifara. Please rise. V'ya'ado afkid ruchi, Be'etishan va'ayira, Be'imruchi gviati Adonai li v'lo ira. To your hand we place our souls. Sleep, awake, for you are near. With our souls, our bodies too. You are our gods. We shall not fear. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov, and do join us next door for Kiddush.
outcast